I don't know how homeschooling parents do it because my dogs are driving me crazy. I'm going to take care of a few things off of my task list, and then I am going to escape the hounds. They're so cute, but they're getting into so much today. It's a reading day. Feeling pretty good. I got a bunch of like financial things taken care of, really related to travel. I didn't realize it was only going to cost me about $100 to go to Boston this fall. So that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. And I took care of some rebates for some dog stuff. Speaking of dogs, there's a dog. And I printed out a recipe for hot pepper jelly, which I will be making with some peppers from the garden. Road trip time. So I'm gonna listen to David McCullough's The Wright Brothers on audiobook. I randomly checked it out from Overdrive last week when I went down to visit my parents, which is a 2.5, 3 hour drive in one direction. Today's road trip will be much shorter, and then when I arrive at my destination, I'm going to try to read this, Ali Smith's Autumn, a novel. I have no idea what it's about. I think I saw Britta Bowler talking about it, and I thought it would be a great autumn read, but I didn't realize when I put it on hold that I would get it so soon, and now it's due tomorrow. So, here we go.
How's that?
That's awesome. Thank you. So, I enjoyed the little stop at Mud House Crozet and realized that I was not too far from Sugar Hollow. The reservoir is further up the road, but I like this spot. It's just a nice quiet place to sit. Have you ever read a book like started a book and it just seemed like the right book at the right time. So on the way out to Crozet, like I mentioned, I was listening to David McCullough's The Wright Brothers. And I had picked that up because I was traveling in the direction of the Outer Banks, not all the way to the Outer Banks. But I thought it would be an interesting listen to remember like my childhood. We would go to Ocracoke Island a lot when we were little, and we would stop at Kitty Hawk sometimes, and that's the first third of the book is about the Wright brothers' experiments in Kitty Hawk with flight. I'm now a little bit over halfway through listening to the book, and the action is now centering on Dayton, Ohio, but it's a really interesting read. But once I had once I had parked and pulled in, walked into to the coffee shop, I started Autumn by Allie Smith. And it's written in this very stream of consciousness type of style. The main character, well, one of the main characters' names is mine, although my name is spelled the right way with a Z, not an S. And I'm about 50 pages in, and it's already referenced the Wright brothers. And it's just really speaking to me. So far we've met Daniel Gluck, the main character, and what was I believe so far at least is his friend Elizabeth Demond, and it's basically just the introduction of the characters so far, but the writing style and the things that the author is pointing out to you, they just really have captured my attention. And yeah, so I think it's a great pick for me right now, and it's an interesting contrast to the like narrative nonfiction that I'm listening to. The Wright brothers. It's just, I don't know, it's cool. I like it. I just interrupted a spider's web. Oops. Bother. Hey, it's the evening. I'm not really sure how I managed to do this. but I was wearing gloves while cutting the hot peppers, and I just rubbed my eye, and I think I need to go take a shower. uh, anyway, I snuggled up with the pups at home and read another about 50 pages in this book, so now I'm into the second part of it. So we've learned a little bit more about Elizabeth's tough relationship with her mother, the evolution of the friendship between Elizabeth and Daniel, and some of Daniel's backstory. But the book so far is principally focused on death, because it's this rambly stream of consciousness type of style. It's very poetic, so I'm really surprised that I'm enjoying it, because I usually don't like it. But again, it could just be the right book at the right time for me. Anyway, it's talking a lot about death, because Daniel is at the very least in a coma. The book opens with Elizabeth going to visit him in a hospice home, a care home, and he's completely bedridden, and all of the nurses there are just convinced that he's on his way out. And I don't know why, but for some reason this reminded me of my great uncle Billy, not to be confused with my father's brother, also Uncle Billy. But my great uncle Billy, he had like a stroke or something. I can't remember what it was. When I was about more than a decade ago. Watch me trip over all of my words. You can tell it's late. Anyway, and I gave him like a little Beanie Baby, because they were all the rage. It was a lamb Beanie Baby, and he cried, and that was shocking to me. But then he cried again later, because apparently somebody at his nursing home stole the lamb. And I don't know why I'm thinking about this memory from reading Autumn. I have no idea. Because it's not like it's sad for me. It was just a shock, and I was young, but I don't know, death doesn't really bother me. Death doesn't really bother me, because it's gonna happen. Everybody's gonna die. So I think I'm enjoying reading the poetic way in which Daniel is coping with his process of dying while trapped in an immobile body. Yeah, so I'm gonna go take a shower and hopefully get the pepper juice out of my eye. I'll probably finish up this video and read again, or continue obsessing over gardening videos on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. It was nice to just kind of get out of the house today. And yeah, see you around.